Oh, hey there, this is the One Boom, and I'm just downloading an app to help the channel. I've received a lot of feedback about all the meaningless complaining I do about Call of Duty, and I took it to heart. I went and found this app that promises to only go off when it's absolutely the right time to complain about Call of Duty. So I just had to give it a download. That way we can just reduce the amount of times I meaninglessly complain about COD, and that's ideal as far as I'm concerned. So, I'm gonna let this install, and would you look at the time? Alright, so here are my beta thoughts for Call of Duty Vanguard. Of course, all of these opinions are subject to change, and they're going to be more critical than normal because this is a beta. While there are some things I'm completely letting off the hook right now, like weapon balance, spawns, and performance, there are other issues that I think could negatively hurt gameplay if left unchecked before launch. It's a Call of Duty beta. I'm not going to waste your time by comparing it to 100 other Call of Duty games or complaining about stuff that's never perfect in any FPS game, especially during their betas. So let's just talk about the gameplay things that I noticed that are bad. First of all, visibility. I didn't expect all of the visibility issues in this beta to come from bullets, smoke, fire, debris, visual recoil, flinch, and other blur effects that are related to gunfire. The game actively felt like it was lowering its dynamic resolution every time something happened. And in a flurry of flinch-induced screen shake suppression, muzzle flash, and smoke, most gunfights end up feeling messy, random, and simply unfun. Like, the experience of getting hit by a high-end kill streak and feeling helpless wasn't a rare feeling. It's just a damn shame that that feeling was coming from singular players using SMGs and assault rifles, not an AC-130. The game just needs a wipe taken to it. There's so much visual mess that it ends up feeling like too much of a mess to enjoy and pay attention to. There are bullets that have explosion effects, there are actually things that explode, debris flying everywhere, smoke, screen shake, it's just very difficult. And this is with all of the stuff in the graphic settings turned off. Screen shake at its minimum, motion blurs are both off, so is depth of field. And spotting enemies on the maps normally is fine. It's just the moment bullets start flying, grenades start going off, doors start getting blown off their hinges, it's hard to tell what's going on. It's far too chaotic. If you have the beta or you end up playing the beta later, please do me a favor and shoot at a wall with an STG or an MP40. Just shoot at things and watch what happens when you get shot at. Watch the screen blur dynamically when you get shot at. And let me know if you like getting hit by explosive SMG rounds that stop you in your tracks, shake the hell out of your screen, and make you flinch. There's also zero reason for the amount of status effect ammo modifiers in the game. I mean, there are attachments that set you on fire, increase your flinch, cause a very annoying, very distracting explosive effect all over your screen, slow your health regen, take away your ability to sprint. On top of that, apparently, any gun can suppress you, and that means anyone can slow down your movement speed in a gunfight. Call of Duty, sorry, you don't need to be rewarding people for missing. Now the game's time to kill is so fast, and I'm okay with its time to kill, that you're not really going to notice the suppression until you try to run around a corner while getting shot at, and all of your inertia is taken out from under you and it just feels miserable. So try getting shot at and just running away while being shot at. Don't just let yourself die, don't try to kill the person. Run around while being shot at during the beta, you'll see what I mean. All of this adds up to just being a huge visual mess. The maps and the lighting and the character models pop out great. I absolutely love the aesthetic of the game. Even during a snowstorm here on Red Star, it's easy for me to pick out opponents. Maybe not so much at a distance, but that could be a limitation of the PS4 Pro, I'm not sure. There are little tweaks they can make to certain parts of certain maps, but 90% of the time I never had a problem with the way the map portrayed the enemies and allowed me to fight them. So that's all great that worked out. I just don't like the rest of the game's, again, bullet and blur effects and suppression and muzzle flash and visual recoil. It's kind of a nightmare. I don't want to run suppressors and flash hiders and a bunch of recoil mitigating attachments for the entire life cycle of the game just because the visual recoil and muzzle flash are hard to deal with in a gunfight where when you get shot at, you flinch and there's a bunch of blurry effects. I really hope this is a PS4 issue, an optimization issue, a dynamic resolution issue. I really hope it's that. But now let's talk operators. Unless Sledgehammer Games plans on covering my enemies in bright red LED lights like they did in Black Ops 3, they better add a faction system to this game. Now before I go any further, hear what I'm about to say in context with all of these visibility and messy issues I was talking about before. In context with that, I should be able to identify a bad guy with a single glance. But instead, I find myself scanning the map for red nameplates instead of targets. When I pass a teammate of mine who is using a certain operator, I enter a room and there's an enemy with the same operator. I don't think enemy kill, I think, oh wait, that's enemy kill. And that needs to go away. With Cold War and Modern Warfare, I have enough game sense to understand that if I'm Team A, the operators I face will be from Team B. I know the Allegiance operators and the Coalition operators, and the other ones that are in Cold War. Being able to see an enemy and go, hey, that's the operator from the enemy team, and just being able to take them out. And it can be kind of annoying when multiple enemies have that same operator, but that annoyance is just increased by also having your team play as that same operator. And also, I learned the voices of operators, so sometimes in Call of Duty you can hear an operator say, placing an AT mine, placing down a claymore, I'm reloading, I'm under fire, and I know that that's D-Day's voice, or that's Park's voice, or Woods' voice, whatever. It's simple, it's effective, and for the people that say that they're just able to look for red names, what about hardcore or a potential realism mode? What about awkward angles or just not seeing the full person's body in front of you? Identical operators fighting each other is a huge downgrade when it comes to gameplay. I know it's great that you get to customize your character and always play as them, but that's a downgrade to gameplay to do that, so I don't think it's worth it. I don't want to have to constantly look at my minimap and see if the character model in front of me is a blue triangle, a green triangle, or gasp, not on the minimap at all. Now, if we had Advanced Warfare style character customization, then I'd be fine, but no. There will be popular Battle Pass skins that fill entire lobbies on both teams, and I, for one, don't want the headache of fighting 4 people on the enemy team using an identical skin because it just came out and it's a big deal, and then my friends are also wearing that skin because they think it's cool. That's frustrating. Not only does it make the game feel a lot tackier to just have everybody running essentially the same outfit, and for these operators that are canonical characters to be killing themselves, it's just one of those things that, yeah, I could just look for red names, but that's not always practical and won't work in every single game mode. I really hope that if we get a realism mode, they don't have big red names over everybody's heads, otherwise that takes away from, well, why you play realism mode. But enough about visibility and operators and factions. I'm going to talk about maps, because gunplay is subject to change. We're going to see all these weapons get massive changes throughout their entire life cycles. That's what we saw with Advanced Warfare and COD World War II, and these weapons have 10 bloody attachments apiece, so just expect constant balance changes to the point that it's obnoxious. Maps are where it's at for me, and all 3 maps that I got to play with today, I absolutely loved. Not because I was going on super long kill streaks and always having fun, but because each map is unique, both visually and layout-wise. Each map felt special, like it was its own environment, its own style, its own level of interactability, and I absolutely adore that from this game so far. I see a lot of people complaining about 6v6 on a map like Red Star. Call of Duty's gotta have a time limit map, I'm sorry. Call of Duty's gotta have a Stonehaven, or a Turbine, or a Grozny Raid, or an Arklov Peak. Call of Duty's gotta have a Miami. Call of Duty has to have a big map, and I'm happy that this game, out of its 16 maps, is at least confirmed to have this honkin' bitch of a map. This map isn't just big, it's complicated. It reminds me of Call of Duty 2 maps. It reminds me of classic COD. I mean classic COD, not advanced movement 3-lane map distilled down environments COD. I really like it. Now, do I want to play it 4 times in a row? Does it play really well in 6v6? Does it play really well without an objective? No to all of that. But it's unique, and I think it played really well also in 10v10 with game modes like Hardpoint, Patrol, Domination. In fact, I played Domination on it 6v6 and I enjoyed it quite a bit. You gotta have a sniper map, you gotta have a big convoluted map in your lineup, otherwise the game will feel stale. There's been some Call of Duty games over the last gen that might as well had just had one map, because it was essentially the same template repeated over and over again. I really love variety in my maps, and I really hope we see variety throughout the entire lineup of maps. I know 2 of them are remakes from Call of Duty World at War. That's going to be Castle and Dome, and Castle and Dome play very differently from each other, so more variety, and that's great. I've even seen gameplay of the other map that's going to be here in the beta, I think later this weekend, and that map looks so much different compared to the other maps on offer, so I'm very excited. Variety is king when it comes to Call of Duty. Call of Duty is a very simple shooter. When I don't have variety, I get bored, and my play sessions get shorter and shorter throughout the year. The more variety you give me, the more stuff I'm going to play around with, and the more exciting a play session can be. Now, sometimes you have to sacrifice balance for that, but as far as I'm concerned as a public match player, bring it on. So my script here just says, end with a critical yet hopeful statement. Okay, Sledgehammer, I think you're gonna have a really good game on your hands if you take all of the stupid crap out of it. Incendiary rounds, the explosive effect FMJ rounds, stuff that adds flinch, all your messy visual recoil, the weird blurring issue that happens in the game. Hopefully that's just a beta issue or a PS4 Pro issue and isn't in the game on purpose. I think maybe you guys were going for a more cinematic, dramatic feeling gunplay, but it just ends up feeling terrible. Like, I don't like Black Ops 4's gunplay, but at least it's clean and I can see what's going on. Clean up the gunplay. Make it a little bit more boring, actually, because then people will actually be able to tell how they missed or even if the gunfight happened at all. There are certain gunfights I've had that are just me shooting, and then suddenly I can't move, my screen flashes, there's smoke everywhere, and I'm dead. It's very irritating, and the blurring that happens, my god, the blurring! Fix that, and you'll have a great game on your hands. I like everything here. I like your perks, I like your guns, I like your maps, I like the fact that the maps have weather and interactable environments and destructible environments. I like what you got here. Take all this gimmicky gunsmith ammunition shit and go tell it to lie down. Thank you so much for coming out to the video. I'll see you when I see you. Goodbye.